friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I am super excited for this video because we are playing with this stunner right here, the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. We are going to be doing swatches, a look on my eye, first impressions, all of the above. You've been here before. I've done quite a few of these on my channel in the past. Before we get started, don't forget to upload every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday for you guys. If you like this video while you're watching it, please go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And other than that, if you're excited and you want to see all those things that I just previously mentioned with this beautiful palette right here, then let's go ahead and get started. I'm not gonna lie, I have seen some mixed reviews on this palette. I feel like when it was very first launching, this launched, I wanna say about a week ago or so from when I am posting this. And when it very first launched, and before the launch, some people got in PR and they did videos on it, and I was seeing really positive reviews, I feel like. And since then, now that it's been out about a week, more people have gotten their hands on it. I've been seeing some mixed reviews. I've been seeing some people say that it's chalky, that the shimmers are more toppery and not as impactful as, you know, they maybe are used to having from Huda. I personally have had a really great experience with Huda's eyeshadow formula in the past. A couple of her smaller Obsessions palettes tend to not be like the greatest quality, but her larger palettes I feel like are better quality than her smaller ones. I only have Mercury Retrograde to go off of to compare this to, but I love Mercury Retrograde. I love that palette, and I have a feeling I'm gonna love this. I don't know, I guess we'll see what end of the spectrum that I end up on. I'm hoping I love it because it was $67. So that's a lot of money, but I did get 20% off. I did get it during the Sephora sale. Be on the lookout for my haul that should be going up tomorrow, because trust me, this is not the only goodie I got. No way. Actually, it was so funny when I got into the Sephora, I like beelined it to the Huda Beauty section, and I saw like the display palette out and there was like none behind it, and I was like, oh my gosh, they're out of it. What in the world? And the Sephora worker saw me like staring at the Huda display, probably with a very sullen look on my face, and she was like, hey, we have one more left. And I was like, can I have it? And she was like, yeah. So I was super excited. So it comes in this packaging right here. Mine is a little dirty, but that's fine. So it comes in this like white packaging right here with rose gold lettering on it. That's nice. I don't ever keep the boxes, so that's going to be getting recycled. But the actual packaging looks like this on the outer portion. This packaging is very stunning. I do love this. I definitely do like it more than the Mercury Retrograde packaging. That is just Huda's like eyes and like this half of her face, which is like, I don't know, I just don't love that. I prefer this type of packaging, and this is like so beautiful. This is like raised a little bit. It does look like almost a rose quartz sort of quartz stone, I guess. And then the inside, ooh baby, let's open her up. This is what it looks like on the inside. If you are watching my review right now, well, you are watching it right now, but anyways, you have probably seen the inside of this palette. This is probably not like your first reveal, but oh my goodness, these shades are just absolutely stunning. I do think it has some similarities to the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde palette. However, I obviously think that they are different enough to have both of them in my collection. I've seen comparison videos and comparison swatches, and I don't think that they are similar enough, personally for me, obviously, to not have purchased this one. But these shades are like right up my alley. I love that it's cool toned. Some of these are like interesting. Definitely, if you can see, like there's some marbled ones. When I showed Mike this palette, because I like showed him my haul of all the stuff I got from Sephora, I was like, you want to see all the makeup I bought? And he was like, sure. And I was like, look at this beautiful palette. And he was like, cool. Like, you know, he's a guy, he doesn't care about makeup. But when I opened it up and showed him, he was like, are those like marbled shades? And I was like, yeah, isn't that cool? So like he even noticed that that's like different and not typical for eyeshadows. And then of course we have this weird shade right here that's interesting. I don't know, we'll see. I haven't swatched it yet. I haven't done anything. This is a brand spanking new palette, and I cannot wait to dig my grubby little fingers in. So let's go ahead and do swatches, and then we will move on to an eye look. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the top row, then I'll wipe it off. I'll do the middle row, wipe it off, bottom row, wipe it off, and I will of course be saying the shade names as we go. So the first one is going to be Quartz. Ooh, okay, I'm going to build that up a little bit. That is a really pretty shade. I have noticed that like the second you dig your finger into those more, I don't know, swirly kind of shades, it immediately goes away, which I'm fine with. I already took pictures of this beautiful palette before coming on and filming, but just that's something to note, that if you really like the design in those shadows, that it goes away. Next up, we have Aura. Okay, so that's a matte brown. Obviously not swatching the best, but I'm not usually like one that puts too much emphasis on swatches because they can look very different on the eyes. Then we have Gratitude. Ooh, that's really pretty. Cosmic Love. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Look how reflective that is. That's stunning. Then we have Empowered. Ooh, another really stunning shade. And lastly, in the first row, we have Joy. Okay, so that barely showed up. And actually, I remember one of my friends saying that she thought this shade was going to be a lot more impactful than it is. And it seems to be like a little bit more of a topper shade, which I definitely agree with that. In the pan, it looks like it's going to be pretty opaque. And then it does end up being a little bit more toppery. You know, I'm fine with that, but I can see where the disappointment could be if you are wanting it to be like a fully opaque shadow. So here we have the first row a little bit closer for you. So moving on to the second row now, the first one we have is called Precious. That's a really nice, I don't know, like taupey kind of gray sort of matte. I am gonna build up a second layer. Then we have Energized. Oh my gosh. That is stunning, holy moly. Okay, now we have the weird shade. It's called Love Stone right here. I'm just gonna like show, ooh, okay, wanna show me swatching it? Okay, so it is like jelly and you can feel like the circular balls inside here. When you like are swatching it, you can like feel them. They're almost like raised. That's interesting. This definitely is gonna be more of like a gloss sort of toppery shade. Yeah, there's gonna be like hardly any pigmentation to that. So it's just gonna be like shimmery and shiny. That is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. All right, then we have Cherished. Ooh, that didn't swatch very well. This is gonna be a really, really light pink. I'm gonna go in for a third layer. Honestly, I'm fine with that. That'll be a nice transition shade, but it is definitely very light. Then we have Blissful. Ooh, a little crumbly, but another very, very beautiful shade. And lastly, on the second row, we have Happiness. Okay, I'm gonna build that up. Ooh, this isn't swatching very well, but again, I'm fine with that. So here we have the second row a little bit closer for you. Moving on to the third and final row, the first one we have is Mantra. Another matte shade. This is probably, yeah, this is the deepest matte in the palette. It's like a really gray sort of black tone. Next up we have Serenity. I'm going to build that up. That's a really pretty like taupey purple shade. I like that a lot. Then we have Abundance. Ooh. I am loving these couple of shimmers that are like super impactful like this. They're stunning. Then we have Moon Magic that looks like it's gonna be a little bit crumbly, maybe more of a topper shade, but whoa, very impactful. Holy moly, that is shiny. The last matte in the palette is called Radiate. I'm going to build that up. Oh, I'm gonna build it up again. And then lastly, we have Self Love. So again, a little bit more of a toppery sort of shade. So here we have the third and final row, a little bit closer for you. Okay, I've been staring down at the palette for about a minute or two, trying to figure out what look I'm going to do. I think I did finally decide. However, I wanted to point out that I really like how this palette is laid out. I feel like it's very simple. Like when I look at this, I can immediately see a ton of different, more simple eye looks. Definitely not ones that have like a million eye shadows, but like I feel like these three right here could be a really nice eye look. I feel like these three right here, or maybe even these four could be a really nice eye look. This like column or row, this is row. Column right here could be one. So I definitely like how this is laid out. I think it's very easy and user-friendly in my personal humble opinion. So I think I did figure out what look I'm going to do. So I'm going to start off with this Cherished shade right here, that really light pink, put it in my crease. So I'm honestly not anticipating this having a ton of pigmentation. Okay, a little bit. I'm gonna build that up. But honestly, like I said, I'm okay with that because it is just a really nice light transition shade. Oh yeah, okay, that actually has more than I was anticipating. Obviously I went in with 2 layers, but that definitely does have a little bit more. I'm gonna go in with a 3rd layer just to see how bright we can get it. I'm liking this, I think that's pretty. Alright, next up on a smaller brush, I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is called Serenity. We're gonna do the same thing, put it into the crease, but keep it a little tiny bit lower. Alright, so that's how it looks with one layer, but I am going to go ahead and build that up. Again, I'm liking this. It is a light shade, but it's building on that Cherish shade nicely. It's not getting patchy or anything like that. I am going to go back into that Cherish shade and just lightly bring it on top. And then Serenity again. Yeah, okay, I really like how those two shades are looking together. Then I'm going to take this Happiness shade right here and we're going to put it on the outer corner. This isn't the look that I was going to do when I first sat down, like when I was first deciding to film, but then the look I was going to do was only going to be like, I don't know, 4 shades, and I was like, I probably should use more than that. Okay, so this Happiness shade is actually a little bit brighter pink than I thought it was going to be. It's not fully matching the vibe, so we're going to go back over it with Serenity and just like cool it down a little bit because it really was like a bright pink, which is pretty, but just not what I was going for. Okay, then with this same brush, I'm just gonna mix together these two shades right here, which is Precious and Mantra, and we're gonna deepen this outer corner. I'm mixing them because I don't want it to be like too deep and dark. I felt like Precious on its own would be too light and Mantra on its own would be too dark, so mixing them together. Okay, I'm not loving these two mattes, personally. I feel like they're kind of like not super pigmented and they're kind of like fluffing away a little bit. I'm gonna go back into Serenity. Bring that back into the crease. Okay, I don't love those mattes. So I'm gonna go back to my original, what I wanted to do before I went off course and changed my mind. So I'm gonna put glitter primer all over my eyes. I'm gonna cover up these mattes and I'm gonna do a halo eye. I'm going to put this shade right here, which is called Abundance, on the outer and inner portion. And then I want to put this Energized shade right here in the middle. So we're going to do that and see how that looks. I'm going to take this Abundance shade and pack it on. I'm getting some fallout, but that's fine. That's why I do my eyes first. And then with my finger in the middle, I'm going to take that Energized shade. Ooh, that's pretty. Okay, so I'm really liking how that looks. I am going to take that Precious shade, that lighter gray. We're going to just put a tiny bit of this in the crease to like marry the pink purpley into the more gray sort of shimmers on the eyelid. Okay, so I'm liking that matte a little bit more here than in the outer corner, although it didn't show up very much. Dang it, guys. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Okay, we're going back in Serenity and we're just going to bring that back. And then Cherished one more time. Re-emphasize Abundance on the outer and inner portion. Alrighty, so that is where I think I'm going to leave the eye for now. I like it. I like it. I like it. It was a little bit of a struggle, but I like it. Okay, I'm gonna go do the other eye. The rest of my makeup will come back on to do the lower lash line and then wrap this video up, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back to finish up the lower lash line. I'm gonna do a really simple lower lash line. Are you shocked? Probably not. All I'm gonna do is run this Serenity shade along my lower lash line. I just can't be bothered to do like 20 shades and all of that. I feel like my small little eyes can't handle that anyways. So typically I do only go in with one shade. So we're going to run this along there. And then if I wasn't doing like a first impressions video on this palette, I would probably not reach into this for inner corner brow bone highlight, just because there isn't really one like that. Energized shade that we have on our lid is probably like the closest one. You know what, I'm gonna use that. I was gonna use this Moon Magic shade, but I just feel like it has too much of a shift of like blue in it. I don't know if you can see on camera. Yeah, there's like a blue shift to it and nothing else on my eyes is blue. So we're just gonna use this Energized shade. It might be a little deep and dark. Yeah, okay. Well, we're gonna have to go over that with a highlight. Yeah, that's definitely too deep and dark for inner corner highlight. So there's really not one in this palette for me in my skin tone, which is fine. Like I said, if a palette doesn't have a light enough shade, I just go in with my highlight. So it's not personally a big deal to me, but I'm gonna go ahead and do that, add like a highlight on my inner corner, add mascara and setting spray, and I think that is all I have left. So let me go do that and then we'll be back to wrap up my thoughts. Alrighty, and here is my final look using the Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette. I'm gonna zoom in and get a little bit closer up for you guys to see. I'm actually really loving how it turned out. I know I struggled like a tiny bit with some of the mattes, but I really do like how it overall turned out. And these shimmers on my eyelids are insane. So my final first impressions thoughts. Obviously, this is a brand new palette to me. I only used a couple shades. Did I struggle a little bit? I can't get it off. There we go. Did I struggle a little bit? Yes, I did, especially with these two deep dark mattes. They just kind of blended away and fluffed away a little bit. Honestly, I have had that with Huda mattes in the past. I think where Huda shines, kind of like Pat McGrath, is in her shimmer shades. I think her shimmers are absolutely insane and stunning and beautiful. Obviously, I did not get to use every single shade in this palette, but I will say I'm still excited to keep using this. Can I wholeheartedly say like, run out and buy this right away? No, definitely not, with how I struggled with it a tiny bit. But I don't know, I still like how the look turned out, and I'm still super excited to keep using this palette. I think if you do have your eye on it and you do want to pick it up, now in the next couple weeks is the time to do so, because the Sephora sale is going on. Huda might have some like Black Friday or holiday sales. I don't know if this will be included because it's a new launch, but you could always wait and see for that. I would definitely recommend getting this on sale. I thought about picking this up full price when it first launched, and I was like, no, Emily, be patient, pick it up on sale. I am really glad that I got the 20% off during the Sephora sale. I think I would have been a little bit more disappointed if I spent full price for it. I don't love that there's not an inner corner highlight shade, but again, that's not the end of the world. A lot of palettes don't have that for someone as fair as me. I just used my highlight, which I ended up doing. But yeah, I like this. I think it's pretty. I like the tones. I am super excited to keep trying it. Like I said in the beginning, I just see so many different eye looks and options, and I'm still inspired by this, and I'm still excited. I want to use a bunch of these other shimmers on my lids that I didn't get a chance to use today. I still want to try out this like glossy kind of weird shade. I don't know how or where or what I would do with it, but I'm still intrigued to keep using this. The little bit of struggle that I had today isn't enough to make me be like, no, I don't like this, I want to return it, or anything like that. Do I 1,000,000% recommend it to you off my first impressions? No, but that's kind of your prerogative, your decision to make if you want to spend that much money on this or not. But all in all, I will say I think the color story is absolutely stunning and beautiful, minus these two deep dark mattes. I didn't really struggle too much. The shimmers are just beautiful, and I really do love this color story, and I am, for the 1,000,000th time, still excited to keep playing with this and all of that. So that was my first impressions. Obviously, I will keep playing with it. Like I said, I will keep you guys updated. I'm not just going to do this one review one time using it and make my decision off that. You really can't do that with makeup. I mean, sometimes you can. Sometimes you really just hate something right away and you're like, no girl, never using that again. I definitely don't have those feelings towards this palette. I think it's stunning, it's beautiful, and I will keep you guys updated on my thoughts. Let me know down below, did you pick this baby up? Did you? And if you did, what do you think? Because I feel like right now this palette is kind of polarizing. You either love it and you think it's amazing, or you struggle with it and you just don't. And I'm kind of right in the middle. So I would love to hear what you guys think if you picked it up, or if you're going to pick it up, if you have plans to. I always love hearing from you guys down below in the comments. Other than that, if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. You're awesome. I love you. Please subscribe if you have not yet, and hope to see you in my next video. Bye, guys.